Hi everyone, it's Tanya from Tanya Kraus Horsemanship and you are joining me for the Millie Diaries. Here come the gang. You can probably see in the background there, or you will see shortly in the background, that I have actually laid out a small blue tarp. And so my plan for today and ongoing lessons for Millie, in light of what happened yesterday in regards to picking up her back feet and actually being able to actually do them, the 4 new goals that I'll be doing with Millie are preparation for trailer loading, teaching her how to be tied up, and teaching her how to get a rug put on her and actually have a rug on in the paddock, and continued preparation in regards to the back feet. But it's also going to incorporate a little bit of confidence building stuff. We've noticed with the wormer and we've noticed with the back feet that Millie over time has definitely become more confident, which was one of my goals last time. And she's definitely happy to be here and come up and be caught, and all of those things we achieved, and half the feet were done. But what we noticed with the worming and the feet is that when there's an unexpected noise, it can really startle her, and she can be very reactive. You've seen it with the wormer. It made a bit of a noise and she shot backwards, and I did think it was the noise at the time. And certainly yesterday, she could see the stand, and Phil put her foot on the stand, and then as soon as she kind of pulled her foot forward and it made a noise, that was it. She was off like a shot. And it's unexpected noises that can bother her, and you just saw Rip obviously get bothered by me clapping my hands. So in regards to the continued process of helping her with regards to her back feet, which is going to be obviously picking them up and working with the stand, I want to also get her a little bit more accustomed to noises. And that's why I've gone ahead and I've put the blue tarp out as a first item, because what can happen with the tarp obviously is they look at it and there's a visual obstacle to overcome, but then they've got the noise obstacle because it's all crackly and things like that. So because they were turned out in the arena, she saw me drag the tarp in, and she actually came up and rubbed it with her nose, and I tried really quickly to film it and my phone didn't film it. So unfortunately, because I was going to put it at the end of this video to show you what she did of her own free will, but what she did was she rubbed her nose on it and then she kind of backed. She didn't put her feet on it, she backed away from it and then turned away. So she deliberately didn't put her feet on it. So I'm going to go ahead and work with getting her to pick her feet up. I've just found it itchy. There's a bit of a rain scaldy kind of a thing on her ears. So these sessions are probably going to be a little bit longer than the 8 to 10 minutes that we've been working with previously. And as I said, I know today obviously I've started the camera without catching her, but in future episodes when the gear's already set up, I will catch her and probably brush her. I won't pick up her feet because I'll let you guys see the preparation. Phil said he wanted me to lift them higher and kind of rest them on my legs so she gets used to that. But anything that I think you've already seen, I'll do behind the scenes, so we're not wasting, I know that the longer the video is, the less likely you are to have the time to sit there and watch it. So I'm really trying hard, obviously, for you guys to get something on paper or on video, so to speak, that's going to help. But also, for the horse, I want these sessions to be as short as possible to build her confidence and things like that. So let's get started. I'm going to go get the halter. I've got Mr. Rip here. I forgot to put him away. I'm just going to see if I can herd him. Okay, so that was a bit easier. I got Rip and I've put him in the round pen. So as I said yesterday in regards to Millie, I am going to start this session with just brushing her, and you know, it's just for that familiarity because she is used to sort of being brushed at the start of every session. And like I said, I will actually do that before you guys, before I start the camera in future. But in view of the little explosion that we had yesterday, I'm sort of back to wanting to show you guys everything. But yeah, just a little brush. And I'm going back to my expectation of her being just perfectly normal in regards to picking these feet up. So because today what I'm trying to achieve is, you know, I really want to get over there and start working on that tarp and things like that. You saw that what I'm doing is I'm raising that expectation, and I'm also going straight back to the level that Millie and I were at. And the reason that I said to Phil, oh yeah, I think she'll be fine to do her feet, is because I can pick up all 4 feet and pick them out. All I did today a little differently was I lifted them just slightly higher. I'm obviously not going to get my leg under there straight away. We're going to work with some different things in that regard. But I sort of got in and I expected her to stand still, let me pick up all 4 feet and pick them out. And I don't know whether the camera, you can hear it, but I was making noise back there with the hoof pick and brushing them out and things like that because, you know, that's what she was doing. So if I had have sort of tentatively gone back there and gone, oh, Millie, I know you had trouble with this yesterday. Come on, girl, you'll be all right. I would have almost justified, you know, a potential, or built in a potential reaction. Whereas I know that the lack of confidence is, it's partially Phil. It's partially Phil that she, you know, she's, not been handled by him very much, and obviously today he's gone off to work pretty early, but tomorrow's episode, you know, I'm just going to get him in here, probably doing a few lateral bends and yields and things like that, just so she gets used to him doing a few things with her. And obviously if you guys are having a similar issue, you won't necessarily get the farrier to come and do handling, but you need to get the horse used to 2 people doing the handling. and I'm not going to work on tying her up today, but probably tomorrow or the next day when I start working on that, what I'm going to start getting her used to is being tied up, which you'll see how I do it, and letting me go around and do all 4 feet. So she's getting used to that. Something else is holding me at the front and someone's working on me at the back, which was a little bit intimidating for her. So I'm going to go down there and work with that tarp, and I'm pretty sure that you guys can see it. Yeah, okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually circle it one way and then circle it the other way, because I want Millie to see it out of both eyes. Ask her for a little hind quarter yield. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over it myself. So I'm going to give her a long rope, and she doesn't have to walk on it, and she chose not to, and that's fine. I wanted her to hear the sound first so she does not get surprised by the sound that this makes. Again, I'm going to walk over it. She doesn't have to. She wants to have a look. I give her the space. There, she touched it. It's windy, it's going to blow. She's allowed to rub it. Oh, she's worried about that. There we go, good girl. So it kind of blew up and touched her on the front of the legs. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, as soon as she does it, is I walk away from it. I'm not going to do it again and again and again and again. The same as we did yesterday. As soon as she kind of was in a distressful state, we had to go backwards. So if the tarp, I have seen horses with the tarp that couldn't even go within 20 meters of the tarp. So simply to get that horse to be calm while looking at it is enough for that day. And then the next day we get them a little closer, and I don't give 2 hoots how long it takes you to get to achieving what you want. And that's what we have to realize. We have to drop the ego if we want to be able to preserve the horse. Because you know, you come out here and you've got a tarp set up and you think, oh, I want to get this tarp done, and so your ego steps in as soon as it looks like you're going to fail, and your ego steps in and says, oh, we need to get this tarp done, we need to get this tarp done. So it's easier for the horse especially if we can turn around and think, well, no, it doesn't matter. Does it matter if she walks on the tarp today or tomorrow or the next day or in a week? Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to build her confidence and I'm trying to build her willingness, so when I do point her at something, she goes, okay, I'll try. Whereas if I try and flog her over something or make her do something or any of those things, it'll take the try out of her and she'll say, I don't want to try anymore. So as Phil said yesterday, we could have wrangled this horse, and you know, a previous me would have. Absolutely, I've wrangled horses to get their feet done or to do whatever you need to do to get the job done. But it's not necessarily, I know it's not beneficial for the horse. Now I know it's not beneficial for the horse, and I don't think it's particularly beneficial for the human either, because you know, you're violating that trust. She was genuinely worried and scared and all the rest of it, so I'm happy to work with her in regards to that. So now that I've done the blue tarp, which is a bit of a sound thing, I've brushed her, I've picked out her feet. Now I'm going to look at preparation for trailer loading. So one of the things in regards to trailer loading that I find really important, or that I consider very important, is the fact that the horses are to self-load. So when the horses are self-loading, it means that I send them onto the trailer and I don't lead them onto the trailer. So the first thing that this mare needs to know how to do is be sent. So when we're typically doing ground exercises, and we've taught our horses ground exercises, we send them around us in a circle. So Millie's facing me, I ask her to back, I send her in the direction. So I lead her out and I support here. As soon as she goes to leave, I drop the lead. I just asked her to get off me a little bit and I sent her. The send is over, okay? Now this mare does know all of my ground exercises. It's a big part of our colt starting program that she's been through with her previous owner. And so be aware that if I was trying to teach her, that would look very different. She already knows how to circle this mare. So again, I'm going to point in the direction I want her to go, and she sends, the backhand is supporting her and telling her to send. Very nice. So that's number one. Does the horse send? Will they follow my body and go forward when I put a little pressure behind? Good. So if I was circling, obviously I would send her out on a bigger circle, especially being a younger horse. But what I'm trying, this bit is the send. I'll show you which part is the important bit. 1, 2, job done. I don't care what happens after that. That's the send. If I was teaching circles, then I would teach the send and then I would teach the circle. In terms of float loading, this is how I'm going to get her to get on the trailer. Get on the trailer, send. Good job. All that needs to be done. So number one, tick it off. Number two, I'm going to start using an obstacle to send her past. So I've got this barrel. And I'm going to teach her to send around the barrel. There's her going into the tailgate, up the tailgate. I ask her to change sides. Send past the barrel. Send past the barrel. Good. So I'm staying in line with the barrel and she's learning to go past me. Okay? So often when we're first teaching horses to lead, we might get pretty busy about teaching them not to go past. You know, they're leading up here and they get in front and we might say, hey, don't go in front of me, don't go in front of me. So what I'm doing is I'm building a cue to send, and then I'm building a cue that says, I want you to go past this object. Okay, so if you can imagine what the trailer is going to look like, it's not going to look like a barrel, but she's going to have to send up past the center divider. And we'll talk about angle loads at a different stage. So that was pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with those two things. What else did I want to do today? I've got a stick and string here. And she would have seen a stick and string again. She knows the ground exercises. I just want to show her again, because my stick and string is going to be my tool to get those back legs a little bit more desensitized. You saw in the video yesterday that Millie, she really collapsed in the back end, yeah? So she was so frightened or so worried about her back leg getting picked up that she kind of went down in the back end. So, and it was after that when she kind of went down and then stood up and tapped the stand that she had that big explosion. That's why she was, you know, had that big worry, because she stood back up again. So I don't want to put my head down there. Like I said, I thought she was ready. We were picking up the back feet and picking them out and all the rest of it. But she obviously wasn't quite ready. So what I'm going to do, and this stick and string is going to help me desensitize her to rapid movement, and it's going to help me desensitize her to the rug as well. So I haven't brought the rug out with me today. As we have done in the past with all of these things, I'm not necessarily going to work on all 4 goals every day, and my primary concern at this point is keeping Phil safe and getting those back feet done. So you can see that I'm just using, clearly she's worried, she doesn't like it, and I'm just going to rub her and then I'm going to take it away. So I let her smell it and I let her nuzzle it with her nose, and I'm making sure my energy's nice and low so she doesn't think that she has to move. So she's got half-lidded eyes in thought there. Can also be a pacifying action. She's not blinking, so I'd like her to be sort of blinking and thinking a little bit more about what I'm doing. So that tells me that she's quite worried. So I just rub her again with the stick, and I've got my energy low, and she can definitely have a look at it if she wants to. She's a beautifully curious little mare, and I don't want to knock that out of her. Bit more thinking going on here. The mouth is moving and processing. I'm not sure how much you can see on video. One day when I'm rich and famous, I'll have a cameraman and he'll be able to zoom in for you, but right now we've got an iPhone to work with. So she comes up, she wants to have another look at the stick, that's fine. And notice how after she smelt it, I always take it away from her. And that more processing, she's dropping her head. She's doing quite deep breaths, a little swish of the tail there. One of the hardest things to do in these moments is just wait and let her be. So another little release of breath. She's kind of going, and there's the lick and chew. So that's quite a nice little lick and chew. I'm going to go ahead and quit the session there. Good girl. So, episode 25, we've got a whole new series of goals with obviously the backup of the overlap rather of the back feet situation. I'm really happy with the way that she's traveling, and I kind of wanted to clarify as well, or I wanted to remind everyone that this mare, even though we're at episode 25, so she's had probably a month because she had those 4 days off where nothing happened. You know, a lot of those videos are less than 10 minutes, and there's quite a few of them that are only 5 minutes. So, you know, you can't look at this mare and say, oh, she's had 30 days work and look how slow everything's going and whatever. You know, when I start a horse under saddle, I take it for 21 days and the job's all said and done, and we might do 4 or 5 sessions a day. So, you know, short sessions a day. So it's not that we're unable to fast track or go faster with this mare. Nice release of tension there. You might just, I think she's just off camera, but she's doing a great big yawn. So it's nice that she wants to hang out with me and stay here and yawn and that sort of thing, interact. So yeah, you know, just bear that in mind. It's not, we could have probably done all these 25 sessions over, you know, maybe 3 or 4 days or something like that. But remember, part of it was showing you guys when you've got limited time, the few things that you can do. This is obviously a longer video. I think we're sitting around 25 minutes, but I could have done all of those things individually. I could have done the tarp and quit. I could have done the send and quit. And you will, if your horse struggles with the send, you wouldn't build the send and then go to the barrel. You would build the send and quit. You've got to quit where the horse struggles the most. So I felt that Millie struggled the most today with the appearance of that stick and just rubbing her down with the stick. So I'm going to bear that in mind, and I'm going to use that last before I quit. So I'm always quitting on that thing that she finds the most worrisome, which is going to build more confidence in that thing. So I hope I'm making sense. I'm loving your comments, I'm loving your feedback and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that it's not, it doesn't have to take this long, but it doesn't matter if it does. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 26.